Hey guys, it's Friday Devotion with Pastor Brad. I hope you're doing well. I myself am doing a little bit better. I've had a cold, and as of this morning, I do feel much better. I'm certainly on the mend. So pray that would continue, and I would be ready to go on Sunday. But for today, I want to read to you a passage out of 1 Corinthians chapter 12. I'm going to pick up in verse 4. It says this: "There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work." And what Paul is doing is he's trying to get the people inside the church. He's writing this letter to a very divided church to say, guys, look, the spiritual gifts, they're really not about you, but they're about God working through you. And so it doesn't matter what gift you have. The gift has its purpose, and all gifts that come from God are good, but you're thinking of it as something that makes you important or makes you more significant than someone else is really what the issue was. But at any rate, it's all the same God doing all the same work, or doing different work, So it's the same God doing various works through individuals. And then verse 7, it says, "Now each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good." So we see there that the reason for the gift is not for you or I, but it's for the common good. The purpose of any spiritual gift that we may possess or be able to serve the church with is not for us, but it's for the sake of the church. It's for the common good, as it says here. Verse 8, "To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom, and to another a message of knowledge by the means of the same Spirit, and to another faith by the same Spirit, and to another gifts of healing by the same one Spirit, and to another miraculous powers, and to another prophecy, and to another distinguishing between spirits, and to another speaking in different kinds of tongues, and still to others the interpretation of tongues. All of these are the work of the one and same Spirit, and He distributes to each one just as He determines." So you see there that even whatever gift that you may have that God is choosing to manifest Himself through you, it is because of God that gift is there, and it is for His good that He decides who gets what, and so He distributes it according to His will. Why is this so important? Well, this is so important because, one, the idea of having a selfish heart when it comes to the spiritual gifts should immediately be taken off the table. The gift was not given to you for you. The gift was given to you for the church, which really the reason that this whole thing came to mind for me as I was reading through this was the idea of, well, how would we even use our spiritual gifts appropriately if there wasn't a church to serve and to be in? Because you'll hear oftentimes people will say things like, well, Jesus I love, but the church, I don't like it so much. Or they've got an issue with the church because the church has burned them or discouraged them or hurt them in some way. And for that, I grieve that because the church is filled with flawed people. We're going to do that to each other. But there's just no way to live and grow and develop as a believer in a sense, apart from the church. It is where we are to serve God within those spiritual gifts, and even more than that, it's the place where we live out the one another's. And I just listed a few of them here. It says to live at peace with one another, to honor one another, accept one another, have concern for one another, be devoted to one another, be kind to one another, encourage one another, build one another up, admonish one another, confess to one another, forgive one another. And over again, the same one keeps coming up: love one another. So guys, I hope that you're encouraged this morning that God has blessed you with specific spiritual gifts that you are to use for His good and for His purposes within the church. And so the church needs you. And if you want to go on and read in chapter 12 and continue on down, it will describe for you more of the importance of being united as a body. God bless.